Okay, let's get into this. You sent over this BBC Sport article, and wow, the headline is pretty massive.
It really is. Liverpool apparently agreeing a huge deal for Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen.
Exactly. So for this deep dive, we're going to unpack what the article says about this, the details, the context of this potentially enormous transfer.
Yeah, look at the player profile described in the source, and also, what else the report mentions about Liverpool's transfer business.
Right. And the first thing that just leaps off the page really is the money involved with Wirtz.
Oh, absolutely. The article states it could reach 116 million. That's with add-ons included.
With 100 million guaranteed up front. That's staggering.
It is, and the source puts it into context, right? It would smash Liverpool's old record.
Yeah, the potential 85 million for Darwin Núñez and Van Dijk was 75 million. This blows them away.
And the article notes, interestingly, if all the add-ons are met, it'd even be a British record, possibly. More than Chelsea paid for Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah.
Though it does mention the Caicedo deal could also hit 115 million. Still, it just shows the sheer scale of the investment they're reportedly making here.
What's also interesting in the piece is that it mentions other big clubs. City, Bayern. They were keen initially.
But cooled off, apparently mainly because of the price tag.
But the article suggests Wirtz himself really wanted the move to Anfield.
Yeah, and that Liverpool managed to negotiate it down slightly from, a rumored 126 million asking price?
So based on this report, they identified their guy and went all out to get him, despite the cost and, competition.
And the article gives us a bit of insight into what kind of player they're getting for this record fee, quoting a former coach, Edu Rubio.
Right, and Rubio's take, as presented in the source, highlights his versatility. He can play off the left, cut inside.
Or operate more centrally, good at breaking lines, it says.
Which means like playing those really sharp passes through a defense.
Exactly, not just passing around the outside, finding the final ball, finding those little pockets of space. And an eye for goal, too, the source mentions.
Sounds, well, ideal for breaking down teams that sit deep.
Definitely. But the source, through Rubio, does raise that classic point, adapting to the Premier League.
Yes, the pace, the physicality. It's always a factor for players coming from the Bundesliga, isn't it?
It is, but the article immediately balances that. It specifically mentions Wirtz has an admirable work ethic.
And that feels pretty key, right? That work ethic the source points out.
Especially maybe for, a high-energy system like Arne Slot might want to play.
Yeah, the article seems to suggest that dedication could be crucial for him settling into the demands over here.
And it's clear from this report, the Wirtz signing isn't the only thing happening. It paints a picture of a really busy window for Liverpool.
Yeah, beyond Wirtz, it talks about Jeremy Frimpong also coming in from Leverkusen for £34 million. Another one from the champions.
And then there's that really surprising bit the source includes.
Trent Alexander-Arnold leaving for Real Madrid for only $10 million.
Yes, and the reason the article gives is sort of Liverpool wanting him to play in the Club World Cup early, which feels unexpected.
It really does. That kind of move and the potential reason reported just underlines the big changes the source suggests are underway.
Totally. And it mentions other exits, too. Kelleher already gone. It says Núñez attracting interest and maybe offers considered for Quansah and Gomez.
So it sounds like a proper squad refresh, according to this BBC piece.
Definitely. The article frames it as Liverpool making a big statement after winning the league, investing heavily in Wirtz, but also making other significant moves, both in and out.
It really shows, based on this source, a clear plan to strengthen and reshape the squad. Wirtz is the headline grabber, but part of a bigger picture in this report.
Yeah, really dynamic window described here.
So thinking specifically about Florian Wirtz then, based on this analysis in the article, his skills, his versatility, but also that question mark about adapting to the Premier League, how vital do you think that work ethic, the one the source makes a point of mentioning, will actually be for his success at Anfield? Something for you to think about after this deep dive.